What did Jesus eat? What did David eat when he was running from Goliath? And what did God feed the Israelites when they were wandering through the desert? Well, today we're going back in time to uncover 5 amazing ancient biblical foods that you can still eat today. Welcome to my channel. Today we're taking a journey back in time to explore the fascinating world of ancient biblical foods. From the mysterious manna that sustained the Israelites in the desert, to the simple yet nourishing meals that Jesus and his disciples enjoyed, we'll discover the rich history and cultural significance of each dish, and how they continue to be enjoyed by people around the world today. Join us as we delve into the biblical accounts and learn about the ingredients and preparation methods that made these foods so special. Now, let's jump into the list. 5. Manna, the mysterious heavenly bread. Have you ever heard of manna? This mysterious heavenly bread is said to have been a miraculous food that sustained the Israelites during their 40 years of wandering in the desert after fleeing Egypt. According to the Old Testament, the Israelites were led by Moses and Aaron, who received instructions from God to gather the manna each morning and eat it as their daily bread. It was described as a small round object that looked like white flakes or shiny pearls and had a slightly sour taste similar to honey. But what is even more fascinating is that this mysterious substance appeared every morning in the desert and vanished by the evening, leaving behind only enough for the next day's gathering. Now, this supernatural occurrence was not only a source of sustenance for the Israelites, but also a symbol of God's provision and protection for his people. Interestingly, the word manna means something that has fallen in Hebrew, and indeed it seemed to fall from the sky each morning as if by magic. Many scholars believe that this mysterious food may have been a type of fungus that grew on certain plants in the desert. Others believe it may have been a kind of edible lichen or moss. However, its exact identity remains unknown. Despite the mystery surrounding its origins, one thing is certain. The story of manna continues to inspire awe and wonder in people around the world. Now let's move on to for locusts and wild honey. In addition to manna, the Israelites were also known to have eaten a variety of other foods during their time in the desert, including locusts and wild honey. Locusts were a common sight in the desert and were considered a source of protein and nutrients. They were often roasted or boiled and were said to have a crunchy texture and a flavor reminiscent of shrimp or toasted nuts. Wild honey, on the other hand, was a staple of desert life and was highly valued for its sweet taste and medicinal properties. It was collected by desert dwellers from wild beehives and used not only as a food item, but also as a sweetener and a natural remedy for various ailments. In fact, the Bible mentions several instances of the use of wild honey, such as in the story of Elijah, when God sent him to anoint a new king of Israel, and he survived on bread and honey for sustenance. Another interesting fact about wild honey is that it has a unique taste, an aroma that varies depending on the type of flowers and plants from which the bees collect nectar. Some desert honeys have a strong, distinct flavor and are known for their healing properties, while others have a milder, more delicate taste. Overall, the combination of locusts and wild honey provides a glimpse into the diverse and sometimes surprising culinary traditions of ancient times. These 2 foods, which may seem unusual to some today, were once a vital part of the diet for those living in the harsh environment of the desert. Now, let's move on to 3. Lentils and stew. Lentils and stew is a hearty and nutritious meal that can be traced back to ancient biblical times. In the Old Testament, lentils are mentioned several times as a food that was accessible to the poor and as an offering to God. In one well-known story, Jacob worked 7 years for his uncle Laban in exchange for his daughter Rachel's hand in marriage. And during this time he lived on lentil stew, which became a symbol of his hard work and dedication. As for the stew itself, it was a common cooking method used by ancient cultures to make the most of their available ingredients. By slowly cooking meat, vegetables, and grains together, they created a thick, flavorful broth that was perfect for nourishing the body and providing sustenance. Lentils were often used in stews because they are a great source of protein and fiber, and they also hold their shape well when cooked. Today, lentils and stew continue to be enjoyed around the world in a variety of forms, from the classic French lentil soup to the hearty beef stew with buttered noodles. This simple yet satisfying meal is a testament to the enduring appeal of traditional cooking methods and the power of community and family. Whether you are enjoying a bowl of soup on a cold winter day or a pot of stew with loved ones on a cozy night, and you can be sure that you are participating in a culinary tradition that has stood the test of time. Now let's move on to figs and dates. Figs and dates are two ancient foods that played a significant role in biblical times. Figs were a staple of the Mediterranean diet and were highly valued for their sweet, juicy flesh and their versatility in cooking. In the Old Testament, figs are mentioned as an offering to God and as a symbol of fertility and prosperity. They were also used to preserve meat and fish and were said to have been enjoyed by kings and prophets alike. Dates, on the other hand, were popular food in the Middle East and North Africa and were prized for their sweet caramel-like flavor and their high nutritional content. They were often used as a sweetener and were considered a symbol of peace and victory. In the New Testament, palm branches and the forerunner of today's date palms were used by people to welcome Jesus into Jerusalem as he rode on a donkey. Both figs and dates continue to be enjoyed today for their unique flavor and health benefits. Figs are often used in salads, desserts, and as a spread, and dates are popular as a snack, in baked goods, and in Middle Eastern cuisine. These two ancient foods are a reminder of the rich culinary traditions of biblical times and their lasting impact on our world today. Olive oil and bread. Olive oil and bread is a simple yet satisfying meal that has been enjoyed by people for thousands of years. In biblical times, olive oil was an important commodity and was used not only for cooking and lighting, but also as a symbol of wealth and power. In the Old Testament, olive oil was used in religious ceremonies such as the anointing of kings, and was believed to have healing properties. Bread, on the other hand, was a staple of the ancient diet and was made from flour, water, and yeast, which were all readily available ingredients. Together, olive oil and bread made for a filling and nutritious meal that could be enjoyed by people of all social classes. In the New Testament, there are many references to bread as a source of sustenance, and as a symbol of the Eucharist, which is celebrated in Christian churches around the world today. Olive oil and bread have stood the test of time and continued to be enjoyed by people around the world today. In fact, olive oil is now recognized for its many health benefits, and bread is still a popular choice for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Whether you are enjoying a slice of bread with olive oil and vinegar, or dipping your favorite bread into a bowl of fresh olive oil, you are participating in a culinary tradition that has been around for centuries. So, which of these ancient Bible foods are you most curious to try? Will you be brave like John the Baptist and sample some locusts? Or are you more of a honey wafers for dessert kind of person? Let me know in the comments below. And if you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe for more fun and educational content. Thank you for joining me on this journey through time, and I look forward to seeing you in the next video.